Make today in the first of our happy handmade Christmas workshops is we're going to make two things. We're going to crochet the gorgeous chunky hearts, and they're fun to make. They're a quick project to whip up, and they look great on the Christmas tree or hanging in your home, especially on doorknobs. I love hanging these on doorknobs. Or pop them on presents. Use them as a trivet to put your teapot or your, thank you for Kylie, I love these earrings too. Use them to put your teapot or your coffee mug on. So many ways to use them, or give them as gifts. They're a really thoughtful gift because you've made it and given it. The other thing we're going to be making is fun pom-pom baubles. These look amazing on the Christmas tree, either like very kind of monochrome kind of limited color palette, or with lots of colors and lots of flashes of color. And actually, talking about earrings, how amazing would these be as earrings? There you go. And I thought today we would actually do a multicolored one. So making them, the process is exactly the same, but we'll do a fun multicolored one. And I actually have a bowl of all different colors here in front of me. I love this. It sits on my desk and I've got at least one of every of the Homely Bliss colors made up. Oh, one's on the floor now in it. So that's lots of fun. So I'm going to flip the camera back around. Oh, if you've got questions, if you're watching live, either put them in the Q&A or put them in the chat. I'll be watching that as we go through. And if you're watching live in the Facebook, on the Homely Lass Facebook page, pop your questions in the comment. I'll be watching those and answering those as we go through. So let me flip my camera back around again. There we go. Okay, fabulous. So we're going to start out making the hearts. I'm going to put my pom-poms to the side. And what we're going to use, or what I'm using, is our chunky heart crochet kit. So that will make two of these hearts. We're going to make one today. And what's in it is the Homely Bliss Australian merino wool. It's all grown and processed in Australia with no offshore processing. A 15.75 millimeter or Q crochet hook. And I love these because they're so light. And the double indent makes it so beautiful to hold. I love these crochet hooks. There's also a color sample with all the Homely Bliss colors in the box. And most importantly, the key ingredient is the pattern with the link through to the video tutorials. So there's the pattern, and then down the bottom here is where to find the really detailed written out instructions and video tutorials on our website. So now that we know what's in the box, let's actually make one of these. And we're going to do it in olive, this gorgeous green, which is the color of the grounded cowl that I'm wearing this morning. Okay, so before we start crocheting, I'm going to explain to you how the hearts are made. So we start in the middle with an adjustable loop, and then we go up here with 3 chain stitches. I'm going to show you how to do each of these stitches. So don't get daunted by stitch names. And then we're going to do these 3 stitches are the same. Then these 3 stitches are the same. Then this is the same as these stitches here. And then we're going to do the opposite on the other side. So in terms of stitch names, these are all treble stitches in the UK terminology, or treble stitches in the US terminology. These 3 here are, well, actually, this 3, and this one here, double treble UK, treble in the US terminology. These 3 here and these 3 here are treble stitches UK terminology, and double crochet in the US terminology. So we start here and we go all the way around here, up the other side, do another 3 chain stitches, slip stitch back into here, and then tighten and close everything off and finish that off there. So let's dive in and start. Okay, so I've got my yarn. I'm just going to pull a bit of it out so it doesn't end up rolling all over the room. Okay, and let's start by doing an adjustable loop. Now, there's lots of different ways to do these, and no way is right or wrong. So use whatever is easiest for you. So start with, this is the cut end. Lay the yarn over your hand like that. Leave a bit of at least 10 centimeters here, so you've got something to play with. And then with the ball end, wrap it around your hand and come on the finger side of the other piece of yarn. Then turn your hand over, and with this ball end, you're going to make a loop. And it's really important that this goes the right way, otherwise your adjustable loop just falls to bits. So from your knuckles, go under, or from your wrist side, go under the loop that's wrapped around your hand, and make a loop. So go from your wrist pointing out towards your fingers. So the tip of the loop will be pointing towards your fingers. This is where the crochet hook goes. Like that. So then turn your hand back around, slip your hand out, and you should have something that looks like this. So this is the adjustable loop. This is our cut end here. And it's just, as we crochet, we're just going to crochet that beside the loop. So we're going to crochet like around here. We're going to put the crochet hook in the middle of the adjustable loop and go under like that. And this is where we're starting. So let's start. So what we're going to do first is the 3 chain stitches up here. Okay, so to do a chain stitch, we go yarn over and pull that through the hook. And this is our first stitch here. You can see the V of the stitch. 1, do that again. 2, yarn over and through the loop on the hook. And then 3, yarn over and through the loop on the hook. And here are our 3 chain stitches. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. Cool. So that's the start. We've started. Starting is always the hardest part, I reckon. So that's good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do these 3 stitches here. So we've done this. 1, 2, 3. And these are double treble stitches, UK terminology, and treble stitches, US terminology. Okay, so to do these stitches, we wrap the yarn around the hook twice. So we've got the first loop and then the 2 wraps. Now, to make the stitch, the hook goes into the adjustable loop. So we're putting it in the middle of the adjustable loop. And then yarn over and pull that back out of the loop. So what we've got now is we've got 4 loops on the hook. We're going to go yarn over one of those and put it through the 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and go through the next 2 loops on the hook. And then yarn over and through the last 2 loops on the hook. There we go. So that's our first double treble UK terminology, or treble US. So now we're going to do another 2 of those. Yarn over twice, put the hook into the adjustable loop, yarn over the hook and pull that back out, yarn over and through the 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and through the 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and through the 2 loops on the hook. It's our second one, and we do that one more time. So yarn over twice, put the hook in the middle of the adjustable loop, in and under, yarn over and pull that back out, yarn over and through the 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and through the next 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and through the last 2 loops on the hook. So that's what we've got. And you'll see as we go around, it's not until we get to the very end that our heart looks like a heart. So it's going to look funny as we're making it. So we've come up here and we've done these 3 stitches. So now we're going to do the next 3 stitches. And these are double treble stitches in the UK terminology. They're treble stitches in the UK terminology and double crochet stitches in the US terminology. Okay, so let's do those. So to do a treble UK, double crochet US, we yarn over once this time, put the hook in and under the adjustable loop, yarn over the hook, and pull that back out. Then we go yarn over and through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and through the next 2 loops on the hook. Okay, now we're going to do that another 2 times. So yarn over once, put the hook in and under the adjustable loop, yarn over the hook and pull that back out, yarn over and through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and through the last 2 loops on the hook. We do that once more. Yarn over once, put the hook in and under the adjustable loop, yarn over and pull that back out, yarn over and through the first 2 loops on the hook, then yarn over and through the last 2 loops on the hook. So let's have a look. And I squish my stitches up as I do them too, just because it gives me more room around here, more working room. Okay, so what we've done is on this one, we've come up here, we've done these first 3 stitches to here, and now we've done these last 3 stitches. So now we're going to do the pointy bit. And it is a double crochet, it's a double treble UK terminology or a treble US crochet terminology. Okay, so that's the same as the stitches we did here. So to do this stitch, we go back to doing a yarn over twice, like that. And then put the hook in and under the adjustable loop like that. Yarn over and pull that back out. Yarn over and through the first 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and through the next 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and through the last 2 loops on the hook. There we go. There we go. And Kylie says, so I imagine myself saying yarn over every time I do this, but you're making it look so easy. I will be getting myself a kit today, won't I? Go for it, Kylie. And please say yarn over every time. I'll be thinking of you. Okay, so what we've done is we've done this one, we've come around here, we've come all the way down here and done the pointy bit. So we're actually at the halfway mark. And now what we're doing on this side is just the mirror of this one here. So what we're going to do here next is do these 3 stitches here. And that's a it's a treble stitch UK terminology and a double crochet stitch US terminology. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so first we yarn over. So only 1 yarn over. Put the hook in and under the adjustable loop. Yarn over the hook and pull that back out. Yarn over and through the first 2 loops. And then yarn over and through the last 2 loops. So we do that another 2 times. So yarn over once. Put the hook in and under the adjustable loop. Yarn over and pull that back out. Yarn over and through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and through the last 2 loops on the hook. And we do that once more. So yarn over once. Put the hook in and under the adjustable loop. Yarn over and pull that back out. Yarn over and through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and through the last 2 loops. Okay, so that's how it's looking. I'm just going to squish these stitches all together. Okay, so what we've done, we've come around here, all the way down here, back up this side, and now we're going to do these 3 stitches. So they are double treble UK terminology and treble US terminology. Let's do that. We are well and truly on the downhill run now. Okay, so to do the double treble UK or the treble US terminology, we go yarn over twice. So 1 and 2, and put the hook in and under the adjustable loop. Yarn over and pull that back out. yarn over and through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and through the next 2 loops on the hook, then yarn over and through the last 2 loops on the hook. I'm going to get myself some more yarn here. Nothing worse than running out of yarn that's ready and available when you're mid-stitch. Okay, so we're going to do that another 2 times. So start by doing 2 yarn overs around the hook. Put the hook in and under the adjustable loop. Yarn over and pull that back out. Yarn over and through the first 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and through the next 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and through the last 2 loops on the hook. And Robin has said, very clear presentation. Thank you, Robin. I'm glad you are finding it good. Can I purchase a kit to do this? You certainly can. And we'll talk a bit more about this later on, but the Chunky Heart Crochet Kit is available on the Homely Lass website. Okay, so we need to do 1 more of these stitches. So yarn over twice, put the hook in and under the adjustable loop, yarn over and pull that back out, yarn over and through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and through the next 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and through the last 2 loops on the hook. So what have we done? Okay, so we've come from here up and around here. We've come all the way back and around here as well. So we just need to do our 3 chain stitches and slip stitch into here and then finish off the tie. So to do that, we do 3 chain stitches like we did back here. So yarn over and through the loop on the hook. So there's our first chain stitch. There's the V of it. Yarn over and through the next one. Yarn over and through the loop on the hook. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So now that we've done that, we've got to bring it back and tie it in here. And we're going to do a slip stitch. And the slip stitch is a little bit like a chain stitch, but a little bit different, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, so to do a slip stitch, we go in and under the adjustable loop. We put the yarn over the hook and we pull that back out of the adjustable loop. So we've got 2 loops on the hook. And before, when we're doing these other stitches, we'd go a yarn over, but don't do a yarn over. There's no yarn over. We're just going to pull this one. So put this stitch here in the hook. It's going to go under this stitch here. So it just goes in and under there like that. Just go backwards and show you that again. So 2 stitches on the hook, grab the first one in the hook and pull it under the other one. And that's a slip stitch. So this is what we've got. We've got something that really doesn't look like a heart at all, but we're actually really close to making it look like a heart. Okay, so the adjustable loop is called an adjustable loop because it's adjustable. That sounds pretty obvious, but it is. So get the cut end, and now we're going to work the heart magic and pull it in like that, and then keep pulling and keep pulling until it's nice and tight in here. I can still get my finger in there, but I reckon I can go a little bit tighter. Okay, so that's now nice and tight. That's our cut in here. So now we're going to cut the yarn so we can finish off this other end as well. So cut that just depending on what tie length you want. So this one's got maybe 10 to 15 centimeters. So just leave a little bit extra than that and cut your end that's attached to the ball. Cut that one there. And now with both of these ends, they're both cut ends now, we're going to put them in the loop. So I've actually pulled the crochet hook out. I'm going to put these 2 cut ends into there. And this is how we secure the stitches so they can't come undone. Pull that all the way through like that. Now, so one of these made this smaller, and then the other one is going to make this loop smaller. I can't remember which one it was. I think this was, so pull on that one and that makes this smaller, which means if I pull on this one, it makes that loop smaller. So pull that nice and secure, and that is holding everything together. And pull the other one. I've just tightened that up a bit more. So what we're going to do now is make our heart look more like a heart. It doesn't look like one. It looks more like one now, but it's a bit shriveled, I suppose. So what you do is just shape your heart. So give it a good pull like that. And the online class has the instructions in the video of how to steam your heart. So it's steam blocking. Just do it with your iron, and it actually makes your heart even look better again. So give it a good jiggle, pull the pointy bit so it becomes more pointy. Give it a bit of a shape. There we go. And that is definitely looking more like a heart. So that means the only thing that's left to do is to tie our tie. So just pull those straight and then tie a knot in the end like that. And pull that up here. And then with these sitting straight, give that a pull so these are the same length and your heart will hang nice and even. Tighten that one up. And then chop that off there. And we're done. We have made ourselves, we've crocheted a heart. And like I said at the start, these are great to hang on the Christmas tree. Hang on the Christmas tree, give them as gifts, hang them around your house. I love hanging them on, what are they called? Door handles. I'm thinking I might try and work out how to hang one on my front door this Christmas. That would be fun. Give them as gifts, put your teapot on them, something, anything. So many uses for those. Okay, so if you've got a question about crocheting or making these, pop it in the comments now if you're watching the live Facebook, or if you're in Zoom joining us live there, pop it in the chat. Okay, so while I'll give a moment for that, I'll get ready for making the pom-pom baubles. I love making pom-pom baubles. They're so much fun. So we're going to do a multicolored one of this, but it's the same process as making a single colored one. So that's what we're aiming for. Okay, so what we're using is our pom-pom bauble kit. Kylie says, can the yarn be dyed if I was to buy the white or cream? Yes, Kylie, you can. So that's it made up in the natural color. So the natural is undyed. There's also oatmeal, but it is dyed. So yes, it can be dyed. How many possibilities does that give? Oh, Kylie, you've given me all kinds of ideas. So this is, we're using the pom-pom bauble kit, but we're doing, we have a new one out, a new Christmas limited edition pom-pom bauble kit. So I'm actually going to make this one with the multicolored ones. Yes, so what you'll find in this box is a pom-pom maker, very important for making pom-poms, the yarn, and there's enough yarn to make 6 of these, 6 pom-pom baubles, and there is the instructions, so written instructions, and down the bottom is the link to the online class, which has got more detailed instructions and lots of videos to show you what to do. So that's in the box as well. So, the other thing that's in the box is the ties, 6 ties to make the pom-pom baubles, and you will need some scissors as well. Kind of important, scissors as well. So Catherine says, it looks beautiful. I will be ordering the kit online. I got lost partway through. Rewatching the video later will help me. It will, Catherine. That's a great idea. And your kit also comes with the online classes, which has the videos more broken down and step by step, which will help you as well. Okay, so what do we need to start off with to make our pom-pom baubles? Your tie can go aside for later. Scissors can go aside for later. We will need a pom-pom maker and get your yarn. So if you're just doing a single colored one, you only need one of these, but because we're going to do a multicolored one, we need two. So grab your little bundles of Homely Bliss merino wool. And this wool is so good for making pom-poms because of the way it's constructed. So each strand is made up of, you open that up, there's 3 bits. And then that is made up of 3 bits. And then I think it goes an extra layer of 3 bits in that. And what that means, all these little bits that are twisted together in lots of 3, and you'll see this as we're making it, but it opens up, the yarn opens up, kind of fluffs up and becomes nice and full and makes these beautiful full pom-poms. And Robin has just let me know, no heart kit for sale in your shop. Oh, let's have a look. Robin, I'm just going to very quickly pop over there and just check what is going on. Gotta love the technology. Okay, there is. I will put the link in the comments for you, Robin. I have found them. It is showing me that there is some in stock. The discount code for today is up at the top of the website. It's Handmade Virtual. So I hope that helps you, Robin. Okay, so okay, where were we? So the yarn opens out and makes these beautiful full pom-poms. Okay, so what we need to do first, because this is a teeny tiny pom-pom maker, we need to separate the yarn so we can wrap it around here. So pull out your first into 3 bits and just pull them apart. It does get a bit twisty, but I've found doing one at a time is easier, maybe. And just pull the yarn apart. So it just gives us a smaller strand to work with. Look at that. So good. So good. Okay, so keep pulling. So we'll have 3 of those. So 1 piece becomes 3 pieces, like that. Okay, put them aside. And then because we're doing a multicolored one, I've got to do this one as well. Just like that. And keep going. Don't think there's a graceful way to do this. I haven't discovered it yet. Maybe I will one day if I do this enough. Another one, and then pull the next 2. Okay, so you will need two of these multiple strandy things. So I'm going to use one of each of these. And because I'm going to do my multicolored one, I'm going to put them together, lie them side by side. That'll make it easier later on. If you're just doing a single color, you only need to wind one of these at a time. Okay, it's pom-pom maker time. So do not be daunted by the funny looking pom-pom maker. Once you understand how it works, it makes sense. But to start with, it's like, oh my goodness, what is this thing and how does it work? Okay, so to start off with, we're going on one side, we're going to open up 2 arms. So you can see there's 2 arms there. So open them both up like that and hold them together. And what we're going to do is wrap the yarn around the 2 held together until this inside bit is full and until it's pretty much full in here as well when we put it down. So aiming to fill in here. Something to show you just for later on, because it's a bit hard to show you this later when it's wound, is so between the 2 arms you can see there's a V, and later on when we're cutting, that's where the scissors go. They go around there. So there you go. That's that. Okay, So if you're doing one color, you only need one piece, but if you're doing a multicolored pom-pom, you need however many pieces you've got. Hold them on there. Doesn't matter where you start. I hold it here just because that's how I do it. And then we're just wind the yarn around the two arms together and stacking them side by side in the middle here. Just like that. And we're just going to keep going backwards and forwards doing that until our pom-pom maker is full. So just like that. So you can see here I've got this little arch here is all full. And if I put that down, fold that down, the arms stay down and in. And there's no huge big gaps in here. So I know I've got a good amount of yarn for my pom-pom. And then hold your bit of yarn out here and then go snip. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So open up the two arms together, grab your yarn, and we're going to wrap them around like this. And just keep wrapping until it's full. Okay, so it's full in the middle here, and put that back down. This closes, yep, and it's nice and full in there. If you have too much yarn, this kind of sits out here, doesn't quite close properly. And then chop your yarn off outside the width of the pom-pom maker. Okay, so next stage, we've got our wound pom-pom maker. Scissors again, we need those again, and we need our tie because we're going to tie everything together. So what we're doing next is we're going to cut all the way around here. And then before we pull our once it's cut, before we pull the pom-pom maker apart, we're going to tie our tie on. And that's important that we tie the tie on before pulling it apart, because once it's cut, there's just lots of little bits of yarn that are held in together by the pom-pom maker. Okay, this is the fun bit. So we're going to cut. I like to start at the hinge end because it just keeps everything sitting a bit better. So grab your scissors and pop them in there in between the two arms so they just sit in the V, and cut around like that. So cutting, cutting, cutting. And then the same on the other side. Carefully cut. Like that. Nice. Okay, so what you can do at this stage, if you want to, otherwise you can do it at the end, is just trim these bits off so they're the same length of the other bits of yarn beside it. 6 of one, half and a dozen of the other. I actually don't know where that one's supposed to be sitting beside. I'll leave it. 6 of one, half and a dozen of the other, of whether you do this now or later. I'm assuming it's supposed to be there. Yes. Okay. So leave that one. It's a mystery. Okay, so next step is to do the tying. So grab your tie and pop it in between the arms and then pull it down past the arms so it's up sitting on the yarn. And then wrap it over and do the same thing on the other side. And get the two ends and hold them together like that. There we go. And then tie a knot, single knot on this side, nice and firm. You don't want to pull it too tight that your yarn, the tie breaks, but just so it's nice and firm. And then turn it over and wrap the tie back around the other way. It's nice and secure. And we're going to do a double knot on this side. So it's like that. And do a double knot. And then it is nice and secure and your pom-pom won't fall apart. There we go. Okay, this is the fun bit. It's all fun. Is this, anyhow, I don't know if it's fun or revealing. Okay, so we're going to open out each of these arms. So one at a time. You will need to kind of hold the yarn back a little to do that. Open out each arm. You can see in there where the tie is holding all the yarn together. And on the other side, open out each arm. And now we get to pull the pom-pom maker out. So hold on to this gray light colored bit on each side with your hands. And we're going to pull out. Give it a little bit of a jiggle. There we go. So what was happening is this bar here was going through the center of the pom-pom. And so now just pop that back into there, put your arms down, and then your pom-pom maker is ready to make another one. And so this is our pom-pom, and you can see it does look nothing like the finished one. A little bit, but not quite. Needs a bit of love, needs some trimming. And what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to tip my bowl of pom-poms out. I'm going to use the bowl to trim into because it just keeps the mess all in one place. But before we pick up the scissors and start trimming, we're going to give the pom-pom a bit of a fluff and a massage. And we're going to be doing this quite a bit because what we're aiming to do is get everything kind of sitting in the right place for these little bits of yarn and start opening them out so they become nice and full. So give it a bit of a massage. And if it's kind of not sitting right, just kind of encourage the yarn to go where you want it to go. Fill up its bald patches. So we can get it looking nice and full. Okay, so first thing is to trim off these long bits. And so the secret with trimming to get a really nice even pom-pom is to do lots of little cuts. So trim each one off individually and just so it's the same length as the yarn around it. There we go. So do the longer bits first. Got another one over here. So that bit's a little bit long looking. And when you kind of go, okay, I've done all the obvious bits, give it a bit more of a massage and a fluff up. There we go. And do the same thing again. We're just gradually taking off the long bits to get something that's looking nice and very cool. Lots of little chops. And be careful that you don't cut your tie. I tend to hold on to it because if I'm holding on to it, I'm definitely not going to cut it off. But if you do by accident, you can, or if you open your pom-pom up like that, you can tie around that again because it is nice and secure. Just wrap another tie around it. Okay, so trimming off these long bits. And as the yarn kind of untwists and opens up, it does kind of get a bit longer because it's untwisting. So don't worry if it's a bit scruffy looking. That is totally normal. I'm just doing lots of tiny cuts. Getting the bits that are longer and making them the same length as what's beside them. And so I'm using our chunky yarn scissors to trim today. And I love, these are my favorite pom-pom, these are my favorite scissors, full stop. My favorite pom-pom trimming scissors because they're not too small, they're nice and sharp, they've got a nice pointy end. They're comfortable to use, which is important. So just trimming off the high bits. And if your pom-pom is looking egg-shaped, and this one actually isn't too bad, it's a little bit egg-shaped that way. It's like looking longer in one way, just got to gradually shape and trim it down on the long ends to bring it back into shape. They're starting to look more even, less scruffy. And sometimes when I'm trimming pom-poms, I just seem to hit a point, I'm like, it's never going to look good. It just looks odd. But at that point, I kind of tend to go, you know what? I need to leave this for a bit and lost my ear thing. Leave it and come. I'm just going to grab it. I leave the pom-pom and then come back to it later. It's kind of some fresh set of eyes. Okay. Put my ear thing back in. Okay. grab my pom-pom. So the process from now on is, I call it fluff and trim. So fluff it up and then trim off the long bits and just reshape until it's looking good. And when I know I'm getting close to having something that's looking nice and even, what I start doing then is I get the ends of the scissors and I get it in, and I just use the ends of the scissors just to open out the end of the yarn. So even more fluffing, like that. Open it out, just like that. And then I do that bit of fluffing, and then I just do some little trims around. I just keep rotating and trimming lots of little bits. And then I'll do some more fluffing. Like that. And then just keep trimming. And then I just keep doing that over and over and over again. It's quite meditative, very mindful, the trimming and the fluffing. Just keep doing that until I'm happy with it. Like some days I can do it in one sitting, other days it's like, nope, it's not gonna happen. But it's just doing that until your pom-pom becomes nice and full, or until you're happy with it. Some people like them more rustic looking with character, and some people like them nice and full and even. Totally up to you. So that's how to make the pom-pom baubles. So have you got any questions for me about making either those or the hearts? We made the hearts earlier. They do come in a kit as well. So the pom-pom bauble kit, I'll just go and grab that one, the link for that one, and put it into the comments as well. Kit. So if you go to homelylast.com, it's under kits. In the menu, just pop into the shop. So if you've got any questions, pop them in either the comments or the chat. There's the link. The kits. And Catherine says, I managed to make the pom-pom. Definitely need a new pair of sharp scissors. So glad you were able to make them, Catherine. And yeah, a pair of nice sharp scissors. I didn't know that was such a tongue twister. Definitely comes in handy. Always comes in handy. Yeah, so that's those. So we are part of Handmade Canberra's Christmas market, online Christmas market today. So both of those kits are 15% off today with the code Handmade Virtual, and that's at the top of our website. And then also the Homely Bliss yarn, if you want to make lots and lots, they are on special too. And in each of the kits, it does tell you how many we'll make out of this. Is the 100-gram mini skein size, or the 300-gram one is 3 times bigger than that one. So there's no more questions that have come through. This will be up on our website before 12 noon as well, Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. So it will be there for you to watch, or the kits have got the online classes in them too to help you out. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for watching and going through this with me and asking your questions. You can ask me questions from our website anytime. There's a web chat at the bottom right corner, and I'll answer those for you. So hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining me. We'll be doing there's another 3 of these coming up, each on a Saturday morning. The next one, we're making the pom-pom garlands. The one after that, we're going to be decorating presents with pom-poms. And on the 3rd one, we're going to be diving in and crocheting a chunky blanket. So join us for those. And yeah, thank you. Hope you have a